The new album Burning Sermons is produced by Emil Neutvig from the band Destors, and it's recorded and produced here in Stockholm. He has a studio here in Stockholm, so very good for us since we live in Stockholm. And if you compare it to the previous album Follow Me, we had another working process, and I think I really like the way we did it this time. First of all, we had much more time. First record I think we had 1.5 months, so it was like really stressful. And now we started in September, October, and I think we ended in January kind of. So we had more time, and we could like work together with Emil almost during the whole time. We had all the ideas because we had a lot of ideas when we started, but then we could send something to Emil, we can go in the studio and do it, and then we could like listen a little bit to it, and if we want to do something differently, we had actually the chance to change it and do more things or take away things and stuff like that. So it was another process, and also he brought in so much as a producer. So sometimes we changed a little bit because he had some great keyboard arrangement, and I found another melody because of his arrangements and stuff like that. So we worked together more like the album grow. So that's differently than Follow Me, which we just made in 1.5 months and then just went down and recorded. For the song Hope Begins to Fade, I know that Patrick, who wrote the song, had the inspiration from doing a Sad But True kind of song, a Metallica Sad But True. He wanted the same groove, so he had that in mind when he wrote Hope Begins to Fade. And then when Emil heard that song and he put on his orchestral keyboard arrangement, it just made it sound really big and really powerful. And we earned something here. This is really good. The song was very long, very much like longer in the beginning, so we had to cut things out to make it a little bit shorter, because it was sometimes when you do songs it's like you have never-ending parts and it's too many parts of them. But in the end we kind of took it all together, and I think that we made a really, really great, maybe not sad but true, but more like a really heavy, groovy song. And it fits so well with Björn Strid on vocals, guest vocals for that song too, so we're really happy to have him there. On this album there's of course a lot of stories behind what the writing process and what inspired what and etc. But if I can choose two, I would choose Slave to the Machine first, because first of all, that song was not supposed to be on the album. I felt that we needed one more song. I didn't think we had the final song or the finishing song yet. So and I was listening through all our ideas, and our drummer Per, he's like, there's something with that, there was something in that, the idea, I don't remember exactly which part it was, but he said this is something to work on. I was like, yeah, it is. And so I told Patrick to redo this song, work on that part and do something else with the rest, and then he did that, and that became the first single that we released. So I think that's a kind of, was not supposed to be on the album, and I forced him to do another song. And also that for me, the lyrics are really important, because they're taking up the topics that how we are being slaved by the social media and our devices, and how that is a way to control the people instead of people thinking clear. I think that these things are actually clouding our minds. And then the other song is the first song that I wrote lyric to, Chapter of the Witch. I wrote it very early, actually, before I think we even kind of started to do the songs a little bit. I think Chris he sent me some riff idea, and I was like, I wanted to write a lyric about that we are heading into another era. That we are hopefully leaving the male dominant power, and that the female power is taking over, and that is going to be a new era in the universe and in the world, and that's the chapter of the witch. which I hope that we are going to take that direction, because I think the world needs that direction if we are going to be alive and if we're going to save our world. I think that's what we need to turn towards the female forces instead. The upcoming schedule for us is we're going to do some summer festivals, mostly here in Sweden. And then we're working on a European tour this fall. It's hard to say when we're going to be in the US. It's so much stuff that needs to be working right for us to come over, of course. But I still hope and I still wish that we can come over and play in the US very soon, because I miss playing in the US. So hopefully, but I can't promise it. Thank you so much, Roots of Planet. Make sure to check out the new album Burning Sermons at September 6th, and cheers!